grass fire on his family's property near Rockhampton. The boy had been trying to help put out the fire at Copperaball when he suffered burns to his lower legs. Paramedics rushed him to hospital where he remains in a serious condition. 20 fire crews and a water bomber are fighting the fire, which continues to threaten property. Authorities are warning residents in the area to leave now if it is safe to do so. Meanwhile, crews have been battling fires in a number of locations west of Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Clumber and Bullera residents are being told to leave now as a fast-moving bushfire sweeps through the area. The blaze is impacting areas around Wilson Road and conditions are worsening tonight. There are concerns this fire could have a significant impact on the region. Communities in the Gold Coast hinterland have faced a tense 24 hours with fire lapping at their backyards in Beachmont. They were left with an agonising decision to flee their homes or stay and fight.
A wall of flames bearing down on the hinterland town of Beachmont. Hundreds of people again under siege. The decision to run and leave everything behind or fight it. Renee Cardboard chose to stay and do what she could. In the end, it was futile. A garden hose no match for a wildfire getting bigger by the minute. Dozens were ordered out, pack up and leave immediately. All they could do was hope for a miracle.
Insane, cops were screaming at us.
The fire did come up behind a number of properties, and so crews were working in and around those structures to sort of defend those houses from the fire.
Residents couldn't get far, many choosing to spend a sleepless early morning in their cars with the possessions they could scramble up and grab. Pets went along for the ride. It was an anxious few hours not knowing.
It looked pretty bad last night when we come out. We just got through it.
Leaving your property was the worst part. Leaving the chooks and the things behind, that was the worrying thing.
By early morning, the sky was abuzz with choppers back and forward in the firefight, hitting it where it hurt.
Water bombing helicopters have now been called in to fight the blaze because it's burning in such remote areas. Firefighters simply can't reach it.
This is the second time the area has been hit. 7 homes lost a few weeks ago. A few kilometres up the road, Binnaburra Lodge was flattened. Late this afternoon, that miracle answered. The fire under control, only a shed was lost. All homes were spared. Jordan Fabris, 9 News.
Let's go live now to Alex Heike in Tewantin, where fire conditions have worsened throughout the day. Alex, you're hearing reports some people are trying to sneak home despite those warnings.
It's hard to believe, isn't it, Jonathan? But essentially authorities have been forced to evacuate some locals twice as they have tried to sneak into these exclusion zones. We do have some good news, actually, that's only come in the last few hours. Large areas of Tewantin, residents will be able to return home tonight. It has been reopened, but if you are trying to head to the Noosa North Shore across the barge or trying to head to Karoiba, unfortunately you will not be able to do so. It is still closed. Fires in those areas are intensifying overnight, and it's a fire front myself and my cameraman ventured to today. This is the first time anyone except emergency services have been allowed inside the fire zone. We're heading right now to Karoiba, and it's chaos. Authorities scramble on the ground as a gust of wind whips up a wall of flame. The smoke, an inescapable black blanket. A barrage from the bombers overhead do little. Authorities ordering us back into the car and out. So we've been in the red zone for 2-3 minutes, but the conditions have just literally changed like that. It's now too dangerous. We are being escorted back out. From the sky, the scale of destruction becomes clear. These unpredictable, erratic wind surges making a tough job even tougher.
But today's still a tough day. Still very dry. We've still got those sort of fluky coastal winds. Makes it really difficult for our firefighters on the ground.
Safety is the #1 concern here. We want to make sure that people get the information they need and they go back home when it is safe to do so.
Those that escape come to places like this. The Premier visiting one of several evacuation centres. It's a first-hand look at the heartbreak.
Our emergency services personnel, our firefighters, our volunteers are doing absolutely everything that they can to ensure people are safe.
These, just a handful of nearly 3,000 people evacuated from areas in and around Karoiba, Tewantin and Noosa North Shore, many from aged care and nursing homes.
There's no way in the world I can defend my place when I've got 30 metre tall trees right behind and thick bushland. still got a car sitting at home, and basically we have the clothes on our back at the moment, and would like to get a few other just sentimental items out so you don't lose everything.
Reports too, as Noosa North Shore was being evacuated, some locals were turned away from the barge because they didn't have any money to pay.
And that is something I'm unaware of, but certainly that's information that we'd be happy to look into and discover the circumstances sit behind that.
Right now, the battle continues. Most residents don't mind when they can return. They're fearing what awaits them when they do. Alex Onkey, 9 News.
Let's go straight down to Paris Martin at Queensland Fire and Emergency Services headquarters. Paris, a state of fire emergency has been declared.
It has, Jono, for 42 local government areas. That includes all of the Brisbane region, the southeast region and the north coast region, as well as so many others further north and inland. This goes beyond a total fire ban. It prohibits anyone from doing any activities outdoors that could indeed spark a fire. This shows just how seriously our emergency services are taking this disaster unfolding across the state, especially with concerning weather conditions heading into the weekend. As for how long this declaration will remain in place, Jonathan, until the risk has subsided, and only then will it be revoked.
Paris, thank you for the update. Let's bring in Luke Bratton now on the Gold Coast. Luke, how are conditions looking over the next 24 hours?
Well, Jono, the unfortunate news is basically more of the same, and that's hot, dry conditions with no chance of rain. Temps tomorrow are going to be very similar to what we saw today. That's up over 30 degrees in the city, even warmer in the west, and those temps will only skyrocket next week, back up into the high 30s for parts of the southeast. Now, a thick blanket of smoke just covered the southeast today. Have a look at these shots from across the city. Very thick down here on the Gold Coast as well. Our Sunday, we're going to see that smoke haze around. That smoke was pushed in by strong southeasterly winds today, gusting up over 40 kilometres an hour in parts of the city. Even stronger in the west for parts of Toowoomba and Dalby, where we saw it up over 60 kilometres an hour. And strong westerlies forecast for our Sunday. What we really need, Jono, of course, is rain. Won't see any tomorrow, but is there any in the long-range forecast? I'll have those details for you later in the bulletin.
Luke, thank you. We'll have more on the bushfire emergency as well later in our program. Let's go now, though, to the rest of the day's news. And a highly respected Logan detective